Welcome to Snap Vegan, where eating on the cheap doesn't have to kill you. So, this is just kind of chat time. And I don't know why things got so dark in here, because it wasn't a minute ago, and I turned this on, and now it is. So, hey ladies, tell me something. What can you do about these wrinkles? I was just standing there. Look at that. Wait a minute. Big old wrinkles right there. Message me below. We got to put that thing, we got to nix that thing in the bud, you hear me? Okay, so a couple things. I want to let you know what traction feels like, if you've never had traction. So I go to my PT appointment. My next PT appointment is Tuesday, so I've got like Tuesday and Friday. So if you want to help out the ladies with the trash bags, pay me out below and I'll go pick them up and take them to her. Anyway, so I go to my PT appointment. It was last Tuesday, and then I had another one on Friday. Those are my days. And he put me in traction. And so, you know, I'm thinking traction is like Uncle Fester on the Addams Family, you know, on the rack being stretched out. That ain't it. That's not it at all. It's a table. It's a wide table. And they strap your midsection in around your hips real tight. And then there's a belt, like a seat belt thing, like a 3-point harness, kind of like race car, I don't know. Anyway, 3-point harness kind of a thing. Snaps in the middle. And they tighten that up. And then the table separates. And it separates. And it separates. And then it goes back. And it goes back out. And then it goes in. And then it goes out. And so the young lady that was helping me at the time says, "You're going to feel like you're in torture, but it's worth it." And so, you know, they get me set and everything starts. First, the table really comes out a lot. This between your butt and your like mid-back section, and just the table separates. And then you can feel it come out for a while, and then it goes back in for a while. Anyway, that was so much relief. Are you kidding me? That felt so good, and I swear I was an inch taller when I left. That's what I told everybody. I'm an inch taller. But Friday when I went, Friday was a rough day for me at PT, let me tell you. Whew, that's when things started getting serious, y'all. So Dave, my guy Dave, you've heard me talk about Dave, nice guy, decides to tell me I've got this IT band problem on my left hip. It's that ligament, like here's the hip, and then there's a ligament, and when I walk, that ligament rolls, and it pops, and it rolls, and when it rolls, it's pushing back on my hip bone, so sometimes that's where some discomfort comes in. But it's called an IT band. So if you want to Google that, you can see, if you got the same thing, you can see the same exercises I'm doing. So he decides that he's going to roll my leg. So I turn over on the right side of the table, and he's like, get me on a big old fat hip here, and then really pushing down on the side of my leg between my knee and my hip, or up to my hip, down to my knee. And I'm like, you know, I got the fibromyalgia, you know, the pain is pretty much subsided because of me changing what I'm eating, but the knots are still there. And I'm like, and then if you have fibromyalgia, you know what I'm talking about. Anybody touches that, it's like, oh, you know. Well, he's all touching up in that business. And I'm like, Dave, fibromyalgia. He goes, I know. He says, Kathy, you've got more fibrous knots in here than I think I've seen in anybody. I'm like, well, yeah, no. And so he goes, I got a different way to do it. He gets this rolling pin thing out. It's like a free rolling pin, you know, not the kind you have to push along, but it's a free rolling pin. And that song gun went down my leg with that rolling pin. And I'm like, oh, God, that hurts so bad. And then he says, you want me to lighten up? I said, no, don't lighten. Just do what you got to do and just let me whine while I'm doing it. You know, just do it. that way, the more you just do it, you won't have to do it so much. Just do what you got to do. Woo! Man, and I tell you what, you know, I did some new exercises where you get like a long band, longer than this, and I put my foot here, you know, I can't show you because I'm sitting down, but you're laying down, and you put your foot here, like here. If you got a belt or a dog leash or something like that, put it around your foot there, and your leg has to be straight, and then you move it to the right for that IT band thing. Whoo! And then my hamstrings are real tight, so they had me go on this platform thing. I don't know the particular degrees it's at, but it's like this, and you put your toes like right up here, and your heel is on the ground here, and you're stretching out your calf muscles and your I guess it's hamstrings. It's the tendon that goes all the way up your leg or whatever. I'm guessing it's a hamstring thing. I got a lot of ham in them legs now. But then when you're finished doing it, it's like you're walking and your feet are like this. And you're trying. Initially, it's like, oh, that feels weird. So that was kind of interesting. But like yesterday and today, I've got this twinge in my right hip now, in that sciatic area, that's like making me walk real careful. So I called the on-call thing. I'm like, man, I'm feeling like this could blow at any minute. And so I was told to take a muscle relaxer. So I took a muscle relaxer. And yeah, I still have them. I just don't take them. And it's eased up. So I just want to let it calm down a little bit. Let that inflammation go away a little bit. Maybe it'll, you know, maybe it'll calm down. But because of my teeth situation, I ain't been eating much. Oh, you know what? I made in my Ipot black eyed peas and collard greens. And first I soaked the beans in the Ipot overnight on keep low, just so they'll be warm while they're soaking. So then I added the collard greens to it in the morning, and then I put it on for 25 minutes. I figure that's surely enough. It's going to, you know, the soaked black eyed peas, I think the manual says 22 minutes, I think, something like that. But I figured 25 minutes, you know, that'll be enough. Soften up the greens. Those beans were still hard and raw, and so I'm like, okay, well then maybe I'll just, you know, slow cook them. So I slow cooked them on low, on low for like 6 hours. So this brings me into last night, and the beans were still hard. So I mean, I just got the beans. I looked at the bag again, because I put half a bag in there, because I wanted to, like, once I cook it, freeze it. That way I could just pull some out, warm it up, and be done. And the beans are fine. So what's wrong with my beans? What did I do wrong? I didn't salt them. No salt, none of that. I put Mrs. Dash garlic and herb, salt-free garlic and herb, and I put 1/8 of a teaspoon of liquid smoke in there. And what else? Nooch. That's it. And that whole thing, it's still over there keeping warm or whatever, but I tasted a bean this morning. I don't know, maybe I just got a bad batch of beans. I hate that. I hate that. So give me some thoughts down below here, and let's look at few different scenarios as to what might have caused that to happen. Because, you know, I mean, I've done beans in the Ipot before after soaking them overnight, you know, in the pockets and stuff. It's always worked out good. This didn't work out good, and it was black-eyed peas. So, again, give me some thoughts down in the comments section. Let me know what you think. Because honestly, it seems to me that other than the soaking them overnight and then do them in the, like the lima beans, man, that turned out so good. And so did the baked beans. But you know, they came from a can. The ones I did with the baked beans with, not, you know, before the lima beans. But what did I do wrong? I don't know what I could have possibly done different. So that whole thing gets thrown out. Damn it. I'm going to try to preserve I'm going to try to get the beans out of there and save the greens, because the collard greens are good. I had a great big bowl of collard greens last night. You know, even if the beans weren't good, the collard greens were. So I'll, you know, I ate the greens. But I haven't been able to chew very good. I mean, I've got my old, you know, old faithfuls in here now. I don't have they still match. But the new ones that they made me, I can't chew with them. I tried. Can't do it. They don't meet. They don't match. And I have to roll myself like a cow chewing my cud. Can't do it. Nope. So I put Old Faithful in here, and but I just haven't been hungry. I haven't, you know. I knew I needed the greens, because especially with the inflammation in my hips and stuff, I knew I needed to power pack the greens, and I have had like 2 potatoes since Friday, but I haven't been eating. I really haven't. I haven't been hungry, and I don't know, haven't been hungry. Okay, so that's what traction feels like. That's what doing a bad batch of beans feels like. What else? Oh, Friday after PT, went back to my wrist and arm guy. Surgery. Yeah. So I'm thinking October the 4th. That way, if I need any medicine, I can get it, because it's payday. He's gonna give me. He told me he'd give me something after surgery. He told me I would probably need it for about 3-4 days. I said, well, I'd really rather not. And he says, well, don't take it, but if you're hurt, take it. And so, anyway, he says he's going to make a really small incision, like right here. And then about a 2-inch incision right here, or over here. And so, it's the ulnar nerve that goes up here, and my carpal tunnel. So he's going to do that all at one time. And then he said, hey, while I'm there, I'm going to put that needle in your thumb. Since you won't let me do it when you're awake, I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'll be awake for the surgery. He said he puts a shot in my shoulder here somewhere, and it makes my entire arm go to sleep. just all out. And he says, I can be awake, I can sing, I can laugh, I can talk, I can do anything but dance. While he's doing that, isn't that amazing? Kind of like an epidural for your arm. So I'm gonna be in a sling for like 4 weeks. How am I gonna chop my stuff? I'll tell you how. I'm gonna try to finagle that food processor if I don't cut myself and bleed out. You know, I've only used that food processor one time since I got it, but I love it. So this will be kind of handy. I'll be chopping and dicing. I think too, before I go into surgery, I'm gonna like pre-chop a bunch of things, a lot of things. You know, my carrots, my cucumber. I want to pre-chop a bunch of stuff. But you know, all the produce and stuff. You know, after about 4 days, you know, you got to eat it. And unless you freeze it, I could probably freeze the carrots, right? Cucumbers, no. Onions, yeah, I could freeze the onions. I like to slice onions, you know, I like to slice onions I like to have like a hummus, lettuce, tomato sandwich. I really like it. And a big fat slice of tomato and a really thin slice of onion, lots of lettuce. I love those kind of sandwiches. So I guess before I go in, I'll go ahead and pre-slice a bunch of onion slices up and tomato slices and things like that. As far as other stuff, I could chop a bunch of onions in the food processor. I can go ahead and slice up broccoli. I like broccoli, the whole floret, you know. I like the whole floret. But I think in this particular instance, I'm just going to go ahead and chop it all up and get all that ready to go and be ready at least for the first week. My friend Patti said she'd help me. You know, she's already had carpal tunnel surgeries. She's bionic. So we'll see how that goes. So let's see, the medicine would probably be, well, it's not going to be any more than $5 when I have to get it, you know. So I'll need to wait for he does surgeries on Mondays and Wednesdays, and they're going to call me tomorrow and set me up. So I'm thinking October 4th is good. This is like day after payday. It's a Wednesday. And, you know, go ahead and get that done. Well, slang is such a non-fashion statement these days. You know what I'm saying? And he told me, I don't know if I'm going to have an elbow cast. I don't know. My brother had that ulnar nerve, and Patti had the carpal tunnel. So I'll ask her what they wrapped her in, and I'll call him and ask him. You know, he spent the night on my couch after his ulnar surgery, and I can't remember how he was all wrapped up. I do remember he was in a sling that was tied around his body. He couldn't move he wasn't supposed to move his arm at all. But hey, once this gets done and I get healed up, no more problems. I can open jars again. I can cut and dice without mutilating myself. Yay! And I'll do it before my 60th birthday, because I have vowed that after my 60th birthday, ain't nobody cutting on me. We're going to resolve all this stuff like that, you know? So I have to have that surgery. And Patty's coming over for House of Cards Marathon this afternoon on Netflix. I don't know what to, I'm not going to try to fix anything. I'm not hungry. Why am I not hungry? I have to eat. I'm just not hungry. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to make some more sloppy joes probably tomorrow. So I'll do I've already done the slow pea Joan recipe. I've already done that. I mean, that's how I do it every time. So I don't know why I would make another video of it, but I might still. Or I might use those crumbles to make spaghetti and falafel balls. Is that how you say it? Falafel? Falafel? I don't know how you say it. I've never had one. Ever. So I don't know how it tastes. But I got a falafel mix up in the cabinet. Might as well try it out. I have never been a big pasta fan. I just don't like pasta. I don't dislike it. I just don't eat it. Like spaghetti. That farro pasta I made in the video back then, that was really good. That had a really nice, how do I want to say it? Kind of a woodsy, nutty, not smoky. It had a flavor. You know what I'm saying? It had a flavor. Most pastas on their own, to me, have no flavor. That pasta on its own had flavor, and it was very good. Ended up being great big old wheels, but it was good. Farro, F-A-R-R-O, farro noodles. They were delicious. So if you ever, I know you're like, I don't want to try something I ain't tried before. Get the farro noodles. Honest to goodness, they have a flavor. They really do. And I would suggest too, what I didn't do is that once you cook those noodles, once you cook the farro noodles, taste them before you add anything to them. Before you like over spice things, because like I said, those noodles do have a flavor. So you know how you make noodles and then you put sauce on it that you've got either all Italianed up or whatever, however you like your sauces, to flavor the pasta. I would think something more like a rosemary or a thyme kind of flavor would go good with the farro. Not your standard Italian stuff. But taste the noodles first and then think what would go good with that, because it's not going to be like your standard Italian, at least for me, that you would think it would be. So I don't know what maybe I'm not going to be obligated to cook when Patti comes over. We're just watching House of Cards, and I don't really have anything to snack on. But celery, I can make hummus in 2 minutes flat, less than that. I saw in one of the groups, I forget which one, somebody wanted a recipe for hummus without oil. Okay, so I like red pepper hummus. So basically it's your chickpeas, a red pepper, and that's all. A little bit of aquafaba, just a little bit. I put too much in my last one, I think. I mean, it tasted good initially, but it was, so that much aquafaba. Aquafaba is the juice from the chickpea can or garbanzo bean can, in case you didn't know. I didn't know before I started eating this way what that was, so I'm telling you, so you'll know too. But yeah, so if you want an oil-free hummus, you can just mince garlic and your chickpeas and a little bit of aquafaba, there's your hummus. You don't need oil or mayonnaise or any non-compliant thing. You don't have to have it. You could put the Mrs. Dash in it. You could put pepper flakes in it. Ooh, that'd be spicy hot. I saw, on my Snap Vegan Facebook page, there's dessert hummus, y'all. Dessert hummus. Dangerous. You could try that. And that's all compliant too. Think about a date. Medjool dates. Pitted medjool dates. Chickpeas. That'd be some sweet hummus. They had other ideas there, which sounded pretty good. So, you don't need oil or mayonnaise for hummus. What else can we talk about today? Irma's taking up a lot of noise, a lot of space. Bless those people in Florida, I tell you. If I lived in Florida and they said mandatory evacuate, I couldn't do it. I'd have to stay. I completely understand the people who are still there. So don't hate on the people that are still there and can't get to a shelter or can't, if I was there, I'd be in the same situation. I couldn't go anywhere. So, bless them all and pray for them all. Everybody's situation is different. And let's just pray they're safe and that they're going to be okay. I did see on the news where there have been 3 deaths already, but they were from people who went out in their car and the wind slammed them into a tree. Now, that's suicide if you ask me, but I pray for their families. I'm sorry that happened. Stay safe out there, you people, especially my peeps in Florida. I don't know if Bunny's watching, or Susan, or Kelly, or Rick Hoffman, or any of my other Coast Guard buddies in Opelika Air Base, where I was stationed. I know the Coast Guard moves their stuff out for something like that. It's staged just outside the state. That way when things calm down, they're right there. But the Coast Guard station in Houston was destroyed by Harvey. Destroyed. So while they're out saving lives, their station is destroyed. And their families who live on base, homeless. And it's a mess out there, y'all. So anyway, I think that's all I have for today. I don't have any earth-shattering news. Let's see, what do we talk about? We talked about what traction feels like. We talked about my surgery. We talked about Irma and my PT. So that's all I've got. Again, I go to PT on Tuesdays and Fridays. If you want to help that girl, she's getting evicted probably in the next couple of weeks. I think she mentioned this month. So if you want to help out with the trash bag situation, you just use my PayPal link below and I'll go get them. It's just her and 2 kids. So, alrighty then. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. And when I start using my food processor to chop stuff, when I do my surgery prep, we'll have a video for that, for sure. Again, you know how to get rid of these wrinkles? Message me below. They're getting unsightly. Y'all can't have it. No. Talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.